It's Ash from SuperVideos back for another live stream Q&A, or a series we call Dead Talk series. As always, let me know if there's any issues with the stream, any lagging, anything like that, and we'll get that resolved. Haid M has joined the chat. Glad you could join. We'll just give it a few minutes for more people to join here, and we'll get started with the questions and answers. Before we get into it though, spoiler alert for those of you who have not watched the mid-season finale of Fear for season 7 and also the series finale for World Beyond, because I'm sure a lot of people are going to ask about those episodes. I'm not going to bring anything up if no one asks, but I'm pretty sure people are going to ask about those episodes because there were a lot of big things happening, or a lot of big things happened in those episodes. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of questions from those episodes. So if you haven't checked it out, then you probably don't want to watch this stream because a lot of stuff will be spoiled for you. But I'm assuming most people who are in the chat are up to date, but obviously I do have to put out the spoiler alert. King Ken has joined the chat as well. Glad you could join, King Ken. King Ken, the new Fear episode was crazy. Yes, it was. But here's the thing. I had two issues with that episode. And those two things were they were the things that drove the episode to be as crazy as it was. One was what they did with Strand. I feel like it was really forced. It was forced from the beginning in the season. Like, I was giving them the benefit of the doubt. Can't speak. I was giving them the benefit of the doubt with Strand earlier in the season, but they've just been doing something very crazy with him, and it's just not been realistic. The other thing is what they did with Alicia. I think they could have done it in a way that made more sense, and I just don't think it's realistic enough. You know what I mean? It was definitely a shocking and crazy episode, but I think for the wrong reasons. But I understand if people enjoyed the episode. One other thing I do want to say about the episode with Fear, or the mid-season finale, is that it's pretty obvious at this point that they're gonna kill Alicia at some point in the next season, or even this season. So either this season or next season. That's what I mean. And it's apparent that it wasn't the decision of the writers. Like, the way they're writing out her death story is very, I don't know how to describe it, but it feels like it's not thought out completely. You know what I mean? It feels like it's not fleshed out. They're not building up to it as much as they should, given she's a big character. And it feels like she wanted to leave the show, which is not surprising because we've seen that with tons of other actors on Fear. The actor for John, that was the same story with him. Madison, same story. Travis, same story. Nick, same story. So I feel like it's a trend with Fear the Walking Dead. They drive the actors to want to leave for whatever reason. Maybe they don't let their characters shine as much as they should, or maybe there's other reasons they just want to move on and things like that. But what's apparent is that Fear is not doing a very good job building up the characters and having a core character base. You know what I mean? It feels like every 2 seasons, every 3 seasons, the whole cast changes completely. You know what I mean? And that's not a bad thing if they built the show to be that type of show, you know? But for Fear, they haven't done that. For Fear, they've been building up towards one like core cast or core story, and they've just been moving so far away from what it started as. You know what I mean? While we wait for more people to show up and for more questions, I'm just gonna double check something. No sound? Well, that's weird. Hate M says no sound. Is that just you, or is no one hearing me? I just want to make sure it's not just one person. It says everything is good on my end with the sound, but let me just check. If there's no sound, then I've been speaking to no one. Yeah, so it looks like there is sound. Hate M might have been my device. Sorry. Oh, okay. Good. I'm glad that it wasn't me. Because I gave a very thorough answer to that last question. And I was hoping it wasn't for nothing. Margot says, not going to be able to watch for the whole time tonight. Other things going on. Is all good on my end. I can hear you fine. No worries. Glad you could join. And yeah, happy that the sound was good all along. That did happen to me once though, or I was speaking for maybe a good 10-15 minutes and no one could hear me. So I had to answer the questions all over again. So I'm glad it wasn't that type of situation. Hate M says, my bad, brother. No worries, man. It's good to get that shock sometimes. So one thing I want to say while we wait is, so the next episode of The Walking Dead, which is part B of season 10, which is the final season, comes out, I think, February, right? If I'm not mistaken. And Fear comes back. Let me check when Fear comes back. I want to see what the gap is. Like the off season. Fear the Walking Dead, season 7, air date, episode 9. Okay, so season 7. Let's take a look here. Doesn't say anything. But I'm assuming it's gonna come out after The Walking Dead. If it comes out before, it could. I mean, it could come out before, but I have a feeling it'll be after. Which means that from now on till February, like end of February, we're gonna have nothing. So that's interesting. It's the first, if that ends up happening. But I think there's a chance that maybe they'll have Fear second half of season 7 before the part B of season 10 of The Walking Dead, but I don't know that for sure. Hey, M, mini heart attack? Yeah, absolutely. Hey, M says February would be awesome, not too far away at all. Only downside, it's pretty overwhelming knowing the OG series will be over. End of a legacy. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's not bad time-wise for The Walking Dead. Like, it's a good wait. It's already been a good wait, but like it's been a long wait. Let's be honest. But it's been okay, right? And till February, that's fine because we have the holidays and everything. But the fact that they're gonna put Fear after is interesting because if they do that, that means the 8 episodes of The Walking Dead's gonna air, then probably Fear right after it, and then right after that it'll be The Walking Dead again, the final 8 episodes, I mean, and then they'll end it. So if they do that, that'll be interesting because that means we won't have any more new content for the rest of the year. Hey M, 2022 is sounding jam-packed. Yeah, if they go the direction I just said, then yeah, absolutely. Then hopefully Tales of Walking Dead. Yes, Tales of the Walking Dead. I'm actually excited for Tales, but I just hope that they don't give us bottled episodes and pointless stories. I just really hope they don't do that. I hope that they bring back some fan favorites, some interesting characters, and some stories that we actually want to watch. But when it comes to reactions on the channel, I do want to say this. Obviously, if you've noticed, we're not covering Fear and World Beyond in depth, or World Beyond is done now, but we didn't cover it in depth. All I did was the reactions to every episode and some videos here and there if it was some major thing to talk about, which was pretty much never the case until the last episodes. But going forward for Fear, it'll be the same recipe again. The second half of season 7, just reactions to the episodes and maybe just certain video topics if it's something big. But when it comes to The Walking Dead, we're gonna do the whole thing. The reactions, the episode breakdowns, like the trailer breakdowns, and a lot of video topics for each episode that we watch. If obviously there's things to talk about, even if it's not major. But then when it comes to Tales, and this is what I wanted to get to, for Tales of the Walking Dead, we're only gonna get, or what you're gonna get is only the reactions from this channel. I'm not gonna do the episode trailer breakdowns, and I'm not gonna do the discussions for those episodes unless it's something that is very, very interesting, you know, and something that I want to talk about. And then we'll ride out the rest of the season of The Walking Dead, and for Fear, however long that's gonna be, it'll be the same recipe, just reactions. and certain topics here and there, only if it's a major thing. Happy End, how can CRM doesn't notice Commonwealth by radio communications? I think they do. I think Commonwealth is probably aware of CRM and vice versa. It's just that, and they might even have some cross communications and some not union, but they work together in some way, shape, or form. But I don't think that they are a group together. Like, I don't think there's strong ties between them. I just think that they most definitely know about each other, though. Margot, the Rick movies hit in 2022, and the spin-off shows start after end of Walking Dead series. Yeah, that's beginning to look a lot like their plan. I'm kind of afraid for the movies, though, because let's face it, it's been like 2 years. Let's just get to it already, you know what I mean? But yeah, I think if everything goes well, that plan seems pretty reasonable, and I think that's probably what they're planning. I'm just gonna double check. Has it been 2 years? When did we get the trailer for the movies? Yeah, 2 years ago. Exactly 2 years ago. Let me see the exact date. When was this posted? July 19th, 2019. That is crazy. And you would think we would have seen like something, like a teaser, trailer, something from that time. But no. The only thing we got was a helicopter going towards a city. And that was like 10 seconds. So, marketing-wise, they've done a shit job with the Walking Dead movies. I think there's been more fan-made trailers than any real official Walking Dead movie releases in that time, which is crazy to think about. We've gone for 27 minutes or so, but the first 5 minutes I wasn't on, so let's say 20 minutes. So we'll go for another maybe 10 minutes of rapid fire Q&A, and that'll be the end of the stream here tonight. My chat's frozen for some reason. I don't know if that's because there's no comments or if my chat's just frozen. Yeah, I think my chat may be messed up a little bit here as well. Anyway, I don't think there's any more new questions though. Gamer for Life G4L says hi. How are you? Glad you could join the stream. Hey them, honestly can't think of any questions. Someone pop one. I can ask myself a question. I'm just kidding. Happy End. I don't understand why people or look at CRM like enemies. They are working at solutions against zombies in the Walking Dead world beyond. They killed a lot of people because if they didn't do that, they would have or there would have been repercussions. Here's the thing. The CRM are being built up as the villains. That's why we see them as enemies. Everything we've seen about their intentions and their motivations has been personal or for their own personal benefit rather than for the benefit of everyone. And they have been portrayed as a fascist regime. And because of that, a lot of fans are looking at them in a certain way. Are there good soldiers and good military commanders within the CRM? Absolutely. Just like any type of military or army. But I think the outer shell, like what we see from the group, it's a very, what do you call it? I think the way that World Beyond said it is great. Like the way the characters talked about it. They what's the word I'm looking for? They executed a genocide because they didn't want the power that they have to go away. You know what I mean? Yes, there was a piece of it that you could say is for the good of humanity, but that's just an excuse. You know what I mean? So that's the reason why we're looking at them as the enemy, because they've been portrayed as the enemy so far. Hey Dan, yeah, that's true. Happy, Hope, and Iris are terrorists in reality. I think you were just being ironic, or not ironic. You were being sarcastic there. I hope you were. Alright, we'll go for 5 more minutes of rapid fire Q&A. And that'll be the end of the stream here tonight. One thing I want to end with is a poll that I created on the community section of the channel. Can I go to it? Let me see. Is there a way to share just this? No, there isn't. So if you go to the community section of the channel, you'll be able to see the poll, and I'm not gonna say what it is, just to let you guys go and kind of read it yourself, but I want to know everyone's thoughts about that. Go to that and participate. I'm very interested to see what everyone thinks about that topic. Happy End, the most important thing is the scientists would work for a solution for the entire world, and some kids got the idea to escape from the laboratory with the scientists just because they don't like CRM. You could look at it that way, but from a perspective that we, the audience, have, we know what the deal is. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of like the perspective of someone who can't see from the outside. You know what I mean? Happy End, they might not be the best or the most specific people, but as we saw from Walking Dead, we can guess that they are the ones with the highest chances to save the world. I do agree with you on that, but I just feel like the direction they're going isn't gonna end there. The direction they're going is gonna end with a group like Negan's group, like the governor's group, like Alpha's group, even to the extreme, just to a much larger scale, obviously. Alright, that's gonna be the end of the stream. I just want to actually go to see. Let me just quickly check if. Okay, yeah. Alright, that's gonna be the end of the stream. I hope everyone enjoyed the Q&A. I hope you got some of your questions answered. Join us next time in 2 weeks. Friday let me just double check. So it'll be the 17th. If I don't have to cancel that Q&A, it'll be on the 17th. Same time, 7 p.m. Mountain Time. You can join and ask your questions. But thanks everyone for joining. I hope you enjoyed.